There is a problem. If you've been feeling like it sucks to purchase a new car, especially a Toyota, you're not alone. Recent data reveals a significant decline in customer satisfaction. There are many factors at play, such as dealership markups and supply shortages. So now they're moving towards a new model, selling cars directly to customers, cutting out the middleman. This has to work because with the market share dwindling year after year, they cannot afford to sit idly by and watch customers slip away. It's not easy by any means, but it is necessary because, if we're being honest, the most annoying thing about buying a new car is all the extra prices we have to pay to the dealers. And even after agreeing to pay that amount, it is still too complicated. And Toyota isn't the only automaker experiencing this problem. This new approach has already been proved successful by Tesla, which was the first company to sell cars directly to customers without relying on intermediaries. But even they had to face so many challenges. The new model is like ordering from Amazon. Just click a button and your car will be delivered to your door. Tesla has been doing this for a long time, and their way has been praised for providing customers with consistent pricing, no delays, and an overall positive experience. So it's no surprise that Toyota, being the biggest car company, has been wanting to follow in their footsteps. Unfortunately, there is one major problem. Franchise laws in most states prevent car manufacturers from selling directly to customers. So in 2019, Toyota came up with a solution: the Smart Path Retail Experience. This program allows you to lease, finance, or even purchase a car without ever having to physically visit a retail store. It was developed in partnership with dealerships all across the United States. Toyota saw the Smart Path Retail Experience as a solution to their problems, and it made perfect sense on paper. Just a year after the launch, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and the demand for digital transactions was on the rise. It seemed like it would stay like that forever, and it did. Online transactions are not slowing down, and clearly it's going to be a major part of the car buying experience for a long time to come. So Toyota thought it was a smart move. The Smart Path program offered something unique and catered to the growing demand for digital transactions. Now, customers could start their car buying journey online and save their progress in a digital garage, and then they could continue where they left off at the dealership, or even finish their purchase with their Smart Path dealer entirely online. It unified the user experience across Toyota's website, dealership websites, and physical dealerships. It all seemed perfect from the outside, but the reality was that the same problems that made customers dissatisfied were still present, just hidden behind a facade. Although customers could buy, compare prices, build their own car, trade in, and even have their chosen car delivered right to their driveway, dealer markups were still added to the price tag. So, as anybody would expect, the Smart Path program didn't work out as well as Toyota had hoped, and it was discontinued in 2022. They totally missed the point. Just creating a website wouldn't magically make customers happy. It's true that the program offered some conveniences and had some good qualities, but it didn't address the major underlying issues that were causing customer dissatisfaction in the first place. Even if customers compared prices from different dealerships, there was still a significant markup at every store. This made it difficult to find a good deal and made the comparison process almost pointless. But despite its failure, the Smart Path program did something unexpected. While many people saw it as a failure on Toyota's part, there was another layer to the story. Part of the reason it didn't work out was because dealerships wanted the program to fail. While they profited from the added markup on the price, another big chunk of their profit came from financing, insurance, and extended warranties. As more and more people started to purchase cars online, dealerships made less revenue because people didn't buy these types of services online. This made them resistant to the idea of a program like Smart Path, which cut them out of the process and reduced their profits. Dealerships had very little incentive to sell Toyota vehicles, especially through the Smart Path program. As a result, they sold fewer and fewer Toyota vehicles over time. They would much rather sell a Ford or some other brand because they could profit much more. The Smart Path was a disaster, but it shed light on the nature and attitude of dealerships toward digital transactions and the need for a more comprehensive solution to address the underlying issues. It was a tough spot to be in. Toyota couldn't get rid of them due to the law, and their attempt to save themselves with the Smart Path program turned around to bite them. They found themselves backed into a corner. But this is Toyota we're talking about. They always find a way to innovate and come up with something ingenious, and that is exactly what they did. Toyota's new agency model will allow them to sell cars directly to customers, which means they'll have their own stores and handle financing, insurance, marketing, and advertising. Toyota is a huge company, and they can handle these tasks without hurting their pockets too much. However, the biggest challenge will come from the government and the dealership companies themselves. Dealerships are also big players in the industry. Almost every car that is sold outside the online medium goes through them, and they could potentially have the ability to lobby in their favor. They already have laws set in some states, and all they have to do is file lawsuits. So whatever the solution Toyota comes up with, they also have to think about dealerships. But what can you do when you can't work with them and you can't get rid of them? For Toyota, the answer is simple. Pay them and make them work for you. With the agency model, all dealership retail stores become agents for Toyota. Instead of buying cars at wholesale value and doing whatever they want with them, dealerships will receive a commission for each car they sell. This creates a huge incentive to sell Toyota cars and gives Toyota more control over the price tag of their vehicles. Under the agency model, there will no longer be dealer markups, which means customers won't have to deal with additional fees. And while dealership companies may lose revenue, the agency model will also free them from many burdens, such as marketing, advertising, and worrying about inventory space. This is good for them because they're already facing increasing pressure due to shrinking profit margins on sales of new vehicles. A study conducted by Accenture predicts that price cuts will rise by up to 30% by the year 2025, resulting in a loss of revenue of $600,000 or more annually for each individual dealer. However, by switching to a commission-based system, dealers will have the chance to protect their profit margins and adapt to the changing landscape of the automotive industry. So this is a win-win for both sides. But more than that, it is necessary to make dealerships happy in order to have a smooth adoption of this model. Because even the pioneer of direct sales, Tesla, has been facing challenges due to franchise laws in some states. They've been involved in various court cases, and it's not easy to predict the outcomes. For example, in 2016, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that Tesla was violating the law, while in 2014, the Massachusetts court ruled in favor of Tesla because they did not have any franchises in the state. The interpretation and meaning of franchise laws, like any other law in America, constantly evolve. If Toyota becomes successful with their agency model, it will have a significant impact on the automotive industry. Other companies will very likely follow suit, and all vehicle prices will be affected in one way or another. Toyota is huge, and whatever they decide to do will have a domino effect. So it is obvious that dealership companies will not let Toyota have an easy win. The clash between these giants will shape the future of the industry, and it will change everything forever. The outcome of this battle will have far-reaching implications for manufacturers, dealerships, and customers. For us, the agency model could be the solution we've been waiting for. Instead of dealing with the complexities and pressures of the car buying process, customers can simply go to an agent, choose a car, and pay the rightful price. You won't have to worry about insurance or financing, and there will no longer be employees trying to pressure you into giving into additional fees. It will make buying a car as simple as buying groceries. Customers will have more control over the process, and they won't have to deal with the stress and confusion that come with the current system. The agency model could lead to a more positive experience and increased customer satisfaction. But beyond that, it would give Toyota unprecedented access to vital customer data. The growth of data-driven sales is expected to be significant by 2025, and a direct connection with customers will be essential for Toyota's success. By better understanding customer needs and preferences, Toyota can develop more innovative and customer-centric products and services. Currently, only a handful of manufacturers have the necessary infrastructure to achieve this, but Toyota has a reputation for coming up with innovative strategies. It will be fascinating to see how Toyota executes this new sales model and how effective it will be. But we would like to know your thoughts, so comment below and subscribe to see more videos like this.